You probably will.
Where am I?
I don't even know where I am. How am I going to help you with where you are?
I don't know.
I do know that this is
Hashtag just saying.
How
are we all doing today? Alrighty then.
Okay. Whoa. I wasn't ready. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you everybody who watched the last video, because that did rather well.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to turn you up a little bit.
Good. Turn me up.
There we go.
Turn me on. Turn me up. There I am. Hello.
Wow, okay.
Go team, go.
Home team. Touchdown.
Freeze frame.
Hello, Jay Giles. Hells yeah. Hells yeah. So, real quick, for the audio folks, you can watch the first 30 or so minutes on YouTube. For the YouTube folks, you can listen to the entire show, if so inclined, on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, whatever that's called.
Still playing.
Spotify.
Look for us to spot us.
Anchor.
Drop your anchor and listen.
And Audible.
We hear you, baby.
There we go. Okay, so there's that. Secondly, we have like, I don't know, Shawn was going through some of the older videos today. How many older podcast videos do we have up? We have quite a bit, right?
It starts off, as far as I remember, 34.
Wow! At number 34?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them isn't there. I want to remember, I think it's 99.
You know what?
Or that one doesn't have a title.
Here's the thing.
We're missing one, and one doesn't have a title.
Here's the thing. YouTube doesn't like when we do well.
Right.
Right? Because, like, 2 months ago, at least, we were missing a video just all of a sudden. The video was just gone.
Poof.
And I'm like, hey, YouTube.
The hell?
This is a chin scratcher.
Bunghole.
And they were like, well, once it's deleted. All they said was, once it's deleted, it's gone. And I'm like, but you deleted it.
Right.
So,
and
what's
they
up?
turn around and say, can't do nothing for you, man.
Exactly. Jesus, they pulled the Flavor Flav on me.
Word.
And nothing. Right?
Not a damn thing.
Right.
And you know this, man.
I know, and I was like, come on, man. So there was that, and they also like to take away our views. That's a big thing they like to do.
Yeah.
And that drives me batty, because I'm like, you know, and we're about halfway to the point where we can monetize. And so that's kind of a big thing, but they keep taking away stuff. So I'm like, oh man, how are we supposed to get there if you keep watch blocking us? So
take someone else's.
So I'm a little bit frustrated. So I think maybe on some of the older videos, we might
can use the views.
Yeah. So Shawn was mentioning that. So I don't know. I mean, we might take them down. So you might want to watch them, because
We'll leave it up there a little while. See if you guys want to go back and watch them. Hang in there, because those ones are full.
Yeah, they're kind of long. But what I was thinking is, if we take them down, and that's if. We still haven't talked about it yet. We haven't talked about it yet.
Well, they're admitted killer here, and certainly it was me, it's her.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked about it yet. But we might not, so we might end up taking them down. But if we take them down, I was thinking of doing like a more condensed version of that thing, because those ones are really, really long. They're like, like an hour and a half. I mean, it's like pretty much the full show.
About an hour and 10, an hour and 20.
Yeah,
it varies.
That's too long.
That's probably why some only have 4 or 5 views.
Yeah, some of the
They've been up there for a long time.
Some of those are not.
I think right now they would have got a lot more views.
And I'm, you know.
Let's watch some here, then pick it up later on. You don't have to watch the whole thing at once.
Well, here's the thing: only if they watch a few minutes, we get credit for the view.
All right, watch it for 5 minutes.
So I don't know. We might take them down. If we do, we're gonna put up a more condensed thing.
I'm sure some of them are like really good and really funny.
Some of them are funny, but you know, I'm just speaking because I was there. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I was there. It's like, oh yeah, that was great. I remember that fondly. So I was texting a friend today, and they were saying something about they have 2 little kids, and one of them is in kindergarten, going into 1st grade, and that kid got summer reading.
Boo!
And I went, what the fuck is summer reading?
I didn't have that until like middle school.
You had that? I didn't have that at all. Maybe I went to the wrong.
We had to do it. We had to read at least three books on the list.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I guess I went to the wrong schools. Because
I'll be happy.
Or maybe I went to the right one.
You got the right ones.
I got the right one, baby.
I couldn't stand reading back then, especially if you're being forced to read.
Well, here's the thing.
Waste my summer reading. Get the hell out of here.
I grew up in a very small town, and so there really wasn't a ton to do. And one of the
Tinyville.
And one of the things to do is during the summer I would walk up to the library. So I mean, like, I was doing my own summer reading, but it wasn't because I was told to.
Because you like to read.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, that.
A little bit, yeah. I don't. And you know, I have books and stuff. I have books and stuff. And it's like, I don't have time to read. That's my thing. I was thinking that the other day, too. I'm like, you know, I should make more time to read.
I don't like to.
You know?
But I know once I start, I'm like, DVD.
I know.
Let's do the movie version.
I was just about to say, didn't they make a movie of this shit?
That's usually a shortcut, but the books are usually different from the movie.
What's the thing they would do for like the longer, like Cliff Notes?
Yes.
You got a Cliff Note version of this?
You'd be going to the local, not Barnes & Noble, looking for those Cliff Notes. Help me!
I would make that joke to Jay when he would start telling me a story. It's like, all right, give me the Cliff Note version.
I tried to make the summer reading thing a little better for me. So I would do it. I only went for the ghost stories or the mysteries.
Okay.
Any cop type books, detectives. That's what I would look for.
Okay.
That's how I did.
Well, I think her child they've already picked out the books for the kids.
Oh.
So it's like, you have to read this book.
Wipe your butt with it and give it back to me.
So, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I was like, wow, so I had...
You're going in the 1st grade? Read War and Peace.
I know.
Enjoy it.
Is there war or is there peace?
That depends on if you finish the book.
I know. So, I said, man, I don't...
Here's the deal. If you read War and Peace, you only have to read one book.
That's a long-ass book. You'd be reading that book for a year.
Exactly.
Depending upon how much time you dedicate to it.
Mm.
So I wrote her back and I was like, damn, I definitely didn't get it in high school. And then I was like, what happened to having like a summer? I was like, you know, when you get older, you don't get a summer. You have to work.
Yeah.
And everything's shitty.
Spend all your time bitching, complaining during school. I can't wait till school's over and start my life and be able to do what my parents do or whatever. And once you get out, I want that back.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I want summers where I don't have to do anything.
I don't know the demographic of our show, like who listens, but if you are in high school or I'll say college, I mean, just fucking enjoy it. Because once you get out and then you start to have, not that people in college don't have responsibilities, but once you get past high school and you start to have, adult problems and adult responsibility, like everything just shit. Just shit. But I was talking to this friend and I said, I'd gone someplace with Jay last week and I took a wrong turn and I ended up, of all places, in Avon, Massachusetts, But I didn't know it was Avon, so I described this area to my friend, and I knew she would know where it was. And she goes, "Oh, that's fucking Avon." She said, "What are you doing over there?" I was like, "I'm up to no good." I was like, "I took a wrong turn. That's the only way to be in Avon."
Should have taken a left at Albuquerque.
Exactly. I should have Bugs Bunnied it and taken the left. Which is what I wanted to do. And then Jay's like, "No, the GPS says right." So I went to the right, and the GPS recalculated. I was like,
what the GPS does?
I hate when it does that. You're a little off.
Yeah, there we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Thanks. You know what the GPS does?
Yeah.
You go all the way around this way, up through here, down here, up through the woods to grandmother's house you go. And you could have just gone over here and take a right, and you were there.
Yeah, oh yeah. Sometimes it takes you like an extra way.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did it have me come this way?
Jerk. I think they do that deliberately.
Maybe. Maybe you're like driving past one of their sponsors or something. You're like, why don't you drive past this Dunkin' Donuts and pop in while you're over that way?
Get yourself a nice iced coffee.
Yeah, I know.
Or a latte.
So I was like, I took a wrong turn, and that's why I was in Avon, because there's no other reason to be. But I remember, like, because after high school, I took a break before I went on to a college, yeah.
I wanted to do that.
Well, I mean, I was just like, I wanted to have some fun.
Me too.
And I wanted to work, and
I didn't want to do that. I just want to have some fun.
I wanted to make some money to have fun. You know? So I was like, yeah, whatever. And I wanted to see, this is going to sound arrogant, but I wanted to see, you know, how far I could get with the schooling that I had. I was like, oh, can I get a graphic design job, blah, blah, blah. Graphic design, by the way, is the worst field to get into. Avoid it. Life advice. Hashtag life advice. Anyway, so I was just like, so when she had told me, oh, my kids got this summer reading, and then I was like, oh, man, I remember summers. And I was like, we would just drive around all the fucking time. But there'd be, like, no purpose behind it at all. We were just driving around, fucking around, having fun. It's like, man, I remember that. And then I'd go to work. After screwing around all day. It's like, oh, this is nice.
I miss the summers where I can sleep in till like 10 at least.
Yeah.
Go down to the park and shoot ball for like 3 or 4 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody, whoever I'm dating with, go out on dates and do whatever.
Yeah.
Staying up late.
My God. It's the staying up late that I'm like, I remember that.
I used to stay up until like 4 in the morning or so.
I would hang out with Shawn sometimes on Sunday. But
once a month?
Yeah. The wrestling
that
thing.
time of the month?
Yeah. The wrestling thing, yeah. But sometimes we'd hang out on Saturday or if we had a day off. And I'd be like, hey man, like, you know, what'd you do yesterday? Oh yeah, so I was just, you know, out, blah, blah, blah. And then he'd tell me like, yeah, I didn't get to bed till like 6 o'clock this morning. I'd go, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, I was up. He's like, I was up doing this and that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, even if I wanted to stay up that late, at that age, I don't think that I could have.
Easy for me.
I guess.
It's easy for me and up until like 10.
Excuse me.
6 to 10 years ago.
Really?
Now I struggle. I'm like falling asleep at like 7, 8 o'clock on the couch.
Your 30s is kind of a drop-off, huh? That's when your body just starts to go, listen, we're not doing this shit anymore.
After 30, it's a Garfield drop into his bed.
I know. Oh, God, yeah. Jeez. It's funny. It's just, like, I was hanging out last night. My niece Nikki came over.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. And
Nikki.
she wanted to... Nikki. Joseph.
Kelly.
I know. I talked to her.
Get them all.
I talked to her earlier this week, too. And she works at a doctor's office. And...
Doctor.
And sometimes the drug reps try to sweeten the pot a little bit, so they'll send
Drug reps that pot?
No.
Oh.
So they send over crap for like, hey, you guys, thanks for recommending our drug. So, I mean, sometimes it's lunch, whatever. So she took a picture and she sent it to me and she goes, this is outside my office today. It was a huge Ben and Jerry's truck. And she goes,
send them this way.
I know. I was like, wow, that's kind of an odd thing.
I can do it again.
I heard you.
There we go.
But that's all right. I'll fix you anyway. So
I'm a robot. I'll fix you later.
Like the Tin Man.
Or 3PO.
Yeah, that's a better one, actually.
Actually?
That's a better robot. That's a robot I would save. Not the Tin Man. Kick him into a crusher. He'd be a cube. Put him in my pocket. How's your heart now?
You could turn him into like an old-fashioned chimney.
Crushed. Yeah, I know. Like make him
open his chest and just throw the logs on there.
Those custom exhausts. Make a custom exhaust out of him. Anyway, I hate the Wizard of Oz. Anyway, so I was a little bit jealous, and then she's like, I'm not going to have any, though. And I'm like, you're crazy. So, Nikki came over to, for some reason, she wanted to cook dinner for Jay and I. She's like, I'm going to cook you guys dinner.
That was a nice gesture.
We'll hang out. No, it was nice. It's just, I was like, oh, okay. Because I'm sitting there like, oh okay. So I cleaned, and I was because, for company, you don't want to be a mess. So I cleaned on Tuesday, and Jay had to have work. And I'm going to get to that in a minute, but he got called into work on Tuesday. So I did a lot of the cleaning here by myself. So the one night I would have had free, I spent cleaning, right? So there's that.
You could be watching your British Men, but...
I could have been watching British Men, and I wasn't.
With a big smile and...
Oh, man. So he comes home, and he goes, oh, the house looks great. I said, thank you. And he goes, she ain't coming till Thursday, right? And I was like, yeah, I know, but it's done now. It's done now. I don't have to think about it now. But I will say, I did get her to watch, because she helped me with this little project that I had. Because I know I plug it all the time, but there's this show. And the guy, what's funny is the guy who is on that show is tweeting, and I'm getting like tweet responses right now.
As you talking about him?
Yeah, that's weird.
Nice.
So, anyway, there's this show that I love called Inside Number 9, and for every new episode, they put out a little postcard as like a promo for the episode. I know, a little postcard. Isn't that like when you play football in school with the little piece of paper, the triangle?
Like this, yeah.
Yeah.
Goalpost. Or if you're like a director, you like to...
that should be the still. That's what that should be. Right there.
Or like the diamond cup.
Yeah. So, I printed out all of the posters. And they're only like, index card size.
3x5?
Yeah, something like that. Well, they're all kind of weird sizes, but I did my best, right?
Thanks.
So she helped me make this like big poster of them, and it was like. And now, if I had been on my own to do it, I probably would have just thrown them all in a frame, right? I mean, this girl, she was doing some serious math. Like, serious math. I hate math. I hate it. I married a man who can do math so that I never have to do math again.
You know why math is fun?
It's never fun.
When someone's handing you money.
Oh, I don't mind that. You can give me some money.
Keep adding on.
Yeah, I know.
Add, multiply, whatever.
Math
Show me the money.
But math is never fun. So she's doing all the measurements, and oh my God, and they're all a specific space apart, and it looks lovely, and I hung it up in my living room. And so while we were doing it, she was looking at something, and she goes, what is this? Like, it's a show that I love, and she goes, I don't know. So when she came over Thursday, I said, can I interest you? And she said, yeah, well, she goes, I was really interested from looking at the things on Sunday. She said, so I looked up one episode and I watched it. And I was like, oh, great. And she goes, it fucking blew me away. And I was like, yes, it does. So she goes, so yeah, if you guys want to watch some, yeah, I'll watch them. So I was like, great. Oh, yeah, I'm always happy. I'm always happy to watch that show. So I was like, let's do this. So she's like, it's an anthology, so you don't have to watch them all in order, because it doesn't matter. So I picked an episode I thought she would like. And, like, near the end, like, she was doing the mouth drop. She was like, what? And then I played this other episode that was so fucked up. And she was like, oh my God. It was so funny. I love the episodes, so I was fine watching it again. But, like, partially, I was watching her out of the corner of my eye, loving her reaction to what was happening. There's one with, like a seance. And it goes wrong, and the crazy stuff starts happening, and she's like, oh my God! Like, she's like hiding her eyes, looking away. I'm like, yeah! It's fun.
You tell her nothing's going to come out of the TV and get her.
I know. So I said,
you're safe.
I know.
You're safe here.
So she's like, I'm going to come over in a couple weeks and make dinner again. We'll watch more of those. Like, yeah, we will. But anyway, so the point of me telling this story was not just because of that, but so she kept like looking at her. She looked at her her phone to see what time it was, and it was like, I don't know, 8:05, and she goes, "Are you guys like good to watch another?" They're only a half an hour, by the way, and she goes, "Are you gonna watch another one?" Or and I'm like,
30 minutes.
It's only 8:00.
22 minutes.
I'll say like 28, 29 minutes. Oh. Yeah. They're like...
So they're actually longer, actually. Actually.
Yeah.
Longer than our US TV.
Well, yeah.
Take away the commercials, they're all...
Yeah, there's no commercials. Oh. So it's like, however long it is, there's no commercials.
Ours usually about 22 minutes.
I know. Pisses me off. So, like, she's looking at the thing and she's like, are you good for another one? And I'm like, it's only 8:00. It's like, I know I'm old and I understand why you're saying that, but I think I can handle 8:30. And she's like, oh, okay. So we ended up watching like maybe two more, and it was like 9:15, and I was like, okay, because now we're approaching my bedtime. I was like, all right. But it was so funny.
Cinderella's chariot's gonna turn into the pumpkin.
Oh, seriously. But like she kept looking and she goes, can you do another one? I'm like, yes, I can do. Yes. Yes. I'm not gonna pass out right here. Seriously. But I don't stay up till, the wee hours like I used to. Oh God, no. I can't. God, he's still tweeting. I can't do that, man. I mean, on a Saturday sometimes I'll stay up till maybe I might make midnight. I gotta be watching something I'm really into though. It's like, oh, okay.
The nights that you really can do is when we do a shoot.
Yeah.
You're barely making it, but
yeah, even those are white knuckle, dude. Because I'm like, oh God. Because it's like you're wandering around and stuff. I think it was the last thing we did was the Oliver House thing, and we had that until midnight.
Yeah. And
the whole time I'm like, I gotta stay awake till midnight. How am I gonna do this? Jesus. I'm gonna pass out. I should have taken a nap, and I slept in that day. I was
gonna say, from here on, you should probably take a nap before we go to shoots.
No, I slept in. I slept in that day. I was ready to. I thought I was ready to go. Yeah, I mean, it's age catches up to us all. Isn't that the thing?
Especially for us, the places that we go, because I've been going through all the recorders.
Yeah.
trying to get rid of what tracks don't have evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the ones I listen to with us, like going through a cemetery,
Mm-hmm.
feel bad for you. You're breathing like you just ran across the parking lot. All we do is just walk.
Because I have my lung condition restricts my breathing. And I still wear a mask, imagine that. And it's, sometimes I'm just like, and what sucks is when I have a breathing attack and then I can't breathe at all. And I'm like, fuck.
I haven't heard it gone that far.
It's happened. The thing is that I'm so, this is going to sound horrible, but it's like when I'm so used to it, I can work through it and people won't even know. It's just like there's a specific way I have to breathe when that's happening. So if I'm being watched closely.
I'm thinking about the one that I had texted you about today. We were walking through Burial Hill.
Oh.
And all of a sudden out of nowhere she says, "Is that a bunny?" And then it's like quiet for a little minute and I say something and then she's like, "It is a bunny!"
Because it's a little bunny. Bunnies are cute. Anyways. So yeah, I don't stay up like I used to, and summer reading sucks. I think that's what we've accomplished. Oh my gosh. So the other day I went to make breakfast because I was working from home. I know, right?
No, I'm thinking about the old Bill Cosby and himself.
Oh yeah.
Gotta make breakfast for the children.
No, for myself. I was hungry. So I was making breakfast, and I had a very brief window before I had to log into work. So I was trying to get my breakfast all set and get into work. So I turned the oven on, and my oven starts making this pop, pop, pop noise. And I'm like, that's not good.
Should I stay or should I go?
I mean, exactly. Burning down the house.
Daisy, should we go outside for a little while?
Well, the bonus is that, I mean, the weather hasn't been too hot lately, so all my windows are open. So I was sitting there thinking, at least I'm ventilated. At least I'm well ventilated, because I'm sitting there thinking, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to light a candle. I'm not going to be doing that. And it made a little popping noise, tick, 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 for the duration that it was on. And I was texting Jay, I said, yeah, I might die today. And he goes, what? And I said, the oven's making a little tick, tick, tick noise. And he goes, it's been doing that. He said, I went to cook something, he went to make a hot dog or something the other day, and he's like...
Did he tell you about it?
No, he did not!
I didn't think so.
So I was like, what the what?
Oh my goodness.
So I said, okay.
Don't you think you should have told me?
And he goes, why are we keeping secrets? I didn't know we kept secrets in this marriage. So he goes, yeah, he forgot. I was like, okay. So he goes, well, what do you think? And I was like, I don't like it. And I said, I think we should probably get a new stove before we have some kind of gas leak, because it's a gas stove. I said, and
I hated having
that. I'm having a horrible speech day today. But
already then.
But I don't talk at work. So they're like,
Today and yesterday I barely talked at work. It's nice.
Well, there's one lady like in the next row over, and usually somewhere between 4:30 and...
the nosy one?
No.
Oh.
Somewhere between 4:30 and 5, she'll go, good night, Tara. And I'm like, good night. And that's the one and only time she talks to me all day. And she usually makes a joke like, forget you're there. I forgot you're over there. It's like, well.
Good night, Tara. Good night, little voice.
I know. Well, it's just this little voice over in the thing. So, anywho's. So I said, well, I think we need to check out new stoves. And I said, my fear is that, like, Well, aside from having the fucking thing go up in a flame,
Fireball.
Up in a fireball, yeah. I was like, it's eventually just gonna stop working. I said, and then it'll stop working right when I'm trying to do something. Like I want to make some brownies or something, and there goes the oven, and I'm sitting there with brownie mix, like, well, I guess it's this kind of day. You know what I'm saying? We've all been there. Don't pretend you haven't.
Pretty much anything that you bake, you eat the batter.
You can.
I love making cookie dough from scratch.
Really?
And just eat it. The best one to make. I eat it.
Shawn, I like making cookies, and I eat it.
I haven't made it recently, but
Yeah.
I love making it from scratch.
Yeah. I don't do from scratch well. Nikki does. Nikki does. She's very good at that, but I don't have the patience to measure things and cook things. I'm just like, throw the bowl!
Eggs? Alright, the whole thing.
Yeah, dozen
Show
eggs.
it all.
Dozen eggs. I'm not separating the yolk. Fuck that. Fuck that. I hate recipes that call for weird shit. It's like, oh, separate the yolk from the white and then blend them together. Why? Why do you have to separate them if they're just going to be blended together?
Right.
I'm sorry to go on a rant, but I just get angry. So,
I just can't do it, Captain.
I know. So now I got to go look for an oven, and I'm not happy about that. But I did tell, I did tell Jay, I'm like, we're going for an oven. So now, I was thinking just going to one of the box stores and just getting it over with, because I don't really like shopping for appliances.
I never do.
It sucks, and I don't want to be bothered. So I'm like, I just want to go in a store and go, that one, and walk out, and pay for it and walk out, you know? And he is like, there's a store in Providence that, and I'm like, oh, God.
Where's to Rhode Island?
Oh, God. Well, I don't know. I think it's like some place that he bought the fridge from his mother's, I don't know. So I'm like,
just go to Home Depot, Lowe's, and
that's what I want to do.
Have them install it for you.
That's what I want to do.
Otherwise, you got to get like a plumber.
I know. So I'm not very, wicked happy, because I'm like, now I got to go to Rhode Island, and that's gonna suck. But I think we're probably gonna end up at, one of the box type stores, because I'm gonna be pushing for that. Why don't we just go to here? Just get it done. Just literally, it's what I want.
Someplace with free installation.
That one. Just give me that one. I already have it in my head, kind of what I want, so it's gonna be pretty easy. You're like, no.
But what's it gonna be like with Jay? So you gonna want to look at all of them and start going over the different things of each one?
I honestly don't know.
See that type?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. I'd like to say like, oh no, but I don't know how it's gonna be. So.
Do you want one with actual burners on top, or the newer ones that the burners are like the top thing itself?
Well, I think because it's gas, I need the little burner things. Yeah. Which I don't really like those, because the little burner cover, you have to clean those religiously, and it's like,
I remember when I was living in Hanson.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would have to turn it on, like click, 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 and then it poof.
Yeah.
That startled me.
I don't like the big gush. It's like, poof. Yeah.
I had that happen a lot when I was doing cooking on the grill. Poof. Jeez.
My eyebrows. Okay, so.
Be like Mauser on Police Academy 3. Park the room, my eyebrows. Right here, sir.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh. So last week, I was excited, and I shouldn't have been, because I have to tell.
It's Friday.
No, it's not because it wasn't because of that, it was because Shawn and I finished recording at a decent time, and Jay had a play date. So I was talking on the show last week about how he had a play date. So I was going to get time to myself, which I never get.
Guess what you wanted to watch?
Well, I don't know. Well, I probably would have been British, yeah. So I was excited because I was like, oh, he was going to bring me home something to eat. He's like, I'll bring you home, whatever. I'm like, great. So I didn't have to deal with dinner. I could literally we were going to finish the show and then edit it, post it up so you guys could see it. And then I was going to have a fun time. And then the past tense. Because in the middle of editing, I get a text from Jay that his car won't start. And I was dying inside. I'm like, oh no. I know. Now, his car has been acting up for a while, and I've been saying, can we just junk this thing?
Can we shoot it?
Because a lot of times, he'll just take my car. Like, later he's going to run out and get something to eat, and he will likely take my vehicle.
Take your vehicle.
And I'm like, and here's the thing, and I had said this to him after. I had said, it had been in my mind to tell you to take my car when you went to go have your little play date. But I thought, because I was unsure if there was going to be street parking, and I don't like street parking, and I don't like leaving my car on the street. So he goes, and then he said, well, there is a little lot in the back. He goes, but it's kind of sketchy. I went, oh, great. That's even better. Leave it in a sketchy lot. No, thank you.
Come back and the whole one's actually painted on your car.
Come back and the doors are gone. So he was texting me, my car won't start, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sitting there thinking, I'm going to have to go get him. That's going to be my night. There goes my night. Right? So he goes, I'm getting little updates. I'm trying this. We're going to try to jump it. We're doing this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, something better fucking work. Something better work.
It's almost like he's trying to put you at somewhat of an ease.
It wasn't working.
Nope.
Because I was sitting there going, please, just start. You piece of shit. Oh. And I've had some junk cars in my youth. But 9 out of 10 started. Only one didn't. And I replaced the starter, and it started up, but then it caught fire, so. That was not my fault, by the way, that it caught fire.
Overheat?
I'm not sure. Something went terribly wrong. And it's like, you don't want to see flames.
You get the sticks in the marshmallows?
I know. You definitely don't want to see flames coming out from under the hood.
On the side of your hood?
Yeah. It's like, oh no. So.
For me, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Let me get away from this car here before the whole thing explodes.
Right. So, anyways, I kept getting updates, and then I'm like, do you want me to come get you? And I'm not getting an answer. Instead, I'm getting what he's trying to do. Oh, we're going to try to do this now. Great. Terrific.
Do it!
Yeah. So I'm like, and then at one point he says he's going to call AAA. And I said, okay, but if you call AAA, that means you have to sit there and wait for the guy to show up.
30, 45 minutes at least.
Yes. And because ever since COVID,
that would have given you more time to yourself, though.
It would have, and I was, but here's the thing. It would have completely screwed me because of COVID, they don't give people rides in the tow truck. So it's not like the guy could have driven him home. So I still would have had to go out and get him.
You couldn't ride on the back or and stay in the car? Just lay down or something?
No! I don't do that, Shawn! Meep. No, I still would have had to go get him. So I was
Wrap the chain around yourself and just hold on tight.
So my night was just absolute. I'm like, okay. So I sat down. After Shawn had left, I sat in the living room and I watched like an episode of The Simpsons because I was just trying to level off because I was kind of mad. I'm like, man, there goes my fucking night.
Go.
So all of a sudden I get a text. It started. He's like, I'll be home in 20 minutes. I'm like, of course. Said if I had treated this night like he wasn't gonna be home, I could have done what I wanted to do. But instead, shit. He had, and then this week, he had gotten called out for work. So, and that's a crapshoot because I never know when he's going to come home from that. So I was like, well, I'm not going to watch a movie or get into anything too, deep because I don't know when he's going to come back through the door. But the next day, his boss was talking to him. And he said, something about overtime. And he goes, well, maybe you should take more overtime calls. And then Jay goes, well, because Jay doesn't really like to work extra. So he goes, well, I don't really, And then he goes, actually, he said, Tara didn't get a lot of time to herself. If I took my overtime, maybe she could have some time.
I think I say that he thought about it like, well, I need a new car.
Well, that's essentially what I said. I was like, I would do the OT so you get the extra scratch and then buy yourself a new vehicle for God's sakes. So I can stop getting these phone calls from you. Because I get those calls a lot. I had gotten one a few Sundays ago. Car won't start. I was going to go get something to eat. I was like, well, guess you're an old Mother Hubbard. Check the fucking cupboards. I don't know what to tell you, son. Oh my goodness. So on that note, we will say goodbye. Goodbye. Shawn's got something to tell you. Tell him, Shawn. Roll out of frame.
Have a good everything.
Yes.
If you have a car like Jay's, go shoot it. Put it out of its misery now. Screw it. Just go get a better one.
Yeah.
And go listen to the rest of the show. You gonna do that for us? Alrighty then.
Yay. I can't.
Yes. No.
I can't. I did.